everybody. My name is Paulo Henrique Leal. I'm from Brazil. Welcome to the presentation of SUSE Rancher Prime on Brazilian Federal Court of Accounts, whatever it means. Just a little agenda of what's coming up. I'll just go through how our steps to adopting Rancher, adopting Kubernetes, and until now that we are using premium support, and describe a little bit what kind of troubles we went through and how some of the problems that the premium support helped us. Okay. This is me. My wife chose the picture, so please, it's not my fault. I'm just a little about me. I'm a computer scientist. 10 years working as a developer in some companies. I changed to DevOps in 2016. TCU asked me to change. I wasn't a developer, so they changed me, so I became an ops. I'm not the best ops. I'm best in Kubernetes. I know Kubernetes, but ops is not something I really know. I have some certifications in Kubernetes. This is, of course, Brazil. This is the state I'm from. That's it. And as a Brazilian, I have to say it, and I don't know if you're aware, but we have this saying in Brazil that's please come to Brazil. It's a nice country. If you don't know what I'm talking about, search in Google. Please come to Brazil. It's going to be fun. Okay, what's TCU? TCU is a Brazilian Court of Accounts. We are a public agency, Brazilian federal agency. We are something like the US GAU, I'm sorry. And we analyze accounts, public accounts, and we are like the watchdogs for the public accounts. Anything that goes not that right, we go there and we punish the government. We had some history on punishing presidents, and that's what TCU is. We are considered a big deal. Working for the TCU, when TCU comes to you and check your accounts, it's a big deal. You don't want that to happen. Okay, the beginning, how everything started, 2016. When I entered in TCU, 2016, my boss came to me and said that we were changing to microservice. And she said I was supposed to deal with Microsoft from the ops part, and I should automate the deployment of microservice. Whatever microservices is, I didn't know the concept at the time. And she said, oh, that's your job. Go there and find out whatever it is. One tip she gave to me was to use Docker. I should use Docker to implement the deployment of the microservice. So I began to start studying Docker. It was something very different from what I was used to use. It was kind of magic, actually, because everybody who's beginning to study Docker is aware that, oh, now the environment, the developer environment is going to be completely equal, very similar to the production environment. So it's going to make things easier for us to deploy, and the developer can't come to us with the excuses. Oh, in my machine it works. So I started to study Docker, but to make the deployments in Docker wasn't easy, especially automatically. Actually, using microservices and Docker makes things to me very hard. It was complex to deploy all these applications using this kind of tool. And one day, some vendor came to us. He was presenting something else. I don't recall what he was presenting, but he heard that we were starting to use microservices and said, "Oh, I got something to you. I got OpenShift." I believe you never see that coming, but it was OpenShift that came to us. And he made a presentation, and it was mind-blowing. OpenShift, this version of OpenShift is like 3.2, and he presented all the Kubernetes, all the new features Kubernetes was providing, the automatic scaled up, scaled down, all the resilience Kubernetes comes with Kubernetes, and as I said, it was mind-blowing, and we made a POC. And as you may know, as many of you may know, the POC sometimes becomes the production, and we were in trouble. We didn't have the license, we didn't have anything, so we needed what the public agency does. We made a public auction to hire Kubernetes distribution. We were very happy, I'm not gonna lie to you, we were very happy with OpenShift. OpenShift back then was really something that worked for us. Actually, 2016, there was basically OpenShift. We started to study the other distributions, and we find something like Mesos. There wasn't even Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm was very beginning. I'm talking about old stuff here. And in public auction, you can't specify the brand. You can't specify, oh, I want OpenShift. You just need to, the most thing you can specify is, I want Kubernetes, and justify technically why Kubernetes works for you. But once we buy, at least in Brazil, once we buy OpenShift or branch or specific brand, it's easier to renew that brand, because you can justify that the price to change the technology is going to be it's going to be bigger than the economy to change the technology. So we made a public auction, searching for Kubernetes distribution, and for surprise for everyone on TCU, Rancher won. Nobody understood that back then. We looked at it and, oh, Rancher is a kettle. It's a proprietary orchestration engine. It doesn't use Kubernetes. A friend of mine, he came to me, what do we do? What do we do now? And I said, oh, I can't do anything. They have to deliver. Once they deliver, I'll check if they have Kubernetes or not. And in the end, they had Kubernetes. We never used Kettle, we used Kubernetes. I'm talking about Kubernetes 1.2. Again, very old stuff here. And it worked. It was easy to deploy. It was like a plugin for the Kettle. You don't use, back then you don't actually install the Kettle, you just install the Rancher, and then you had a plugin, you started the plugin and you had Kubernetes running. Very easy and very, very fair. It was a very fair. And at the end, we were very happy. We were very happy with the Rancher. Rancher worked for us. It was a big surprise. And that's a kind of the time flow. And 2017, we started with Rancher 1.4. That's when the contract started. Then May 2018, Rancher 2 was released, but we didn't switch back because it was working for us, and the contract was about to get to the end, and for some issue, we didn't renew that contract. It's a bureaucracy thing that happened to us. It happens to the best, happens in the best family. So that yes, we let the contract ends. And we remained on the 1.4, I think 1.4 or 1.6, the release of Rancher. In December 2020, SUSE bought Rancher. And in February of the next year, we decided to move because we were having some trouble because Rancher 1.4 was 1.6, 1.4 was not yet, no longer supported. So we changed it to, we needed to change to Rancher 2.4. And also SUSE make a great background. So when you have a big company like SUSE behind the product gives you confidence, so we decided to change and to install. The migration was easier than I thought it would be. Part of how we use the Kubernetes, but I must say it was easier. And this very month, we are renewing for another year the Rancher contract for another year. This is the kind of thing we signed from Rancher. We have 2 Rancher management servers with 20 nodes. We have another 3 packages of 10 nodes, so another three nodes, and we signed the famous SUSE Premium Support Level Platinum. This is us right now. I took this picture, I think, last week or the week before. This is our production node. We have our production cluster. We have, it's like 4 clusters if you think through. We have the production, the staging, the development, and we have one that we call lab. That's the one when we test things that we want to put on the other clusters. Now only the production and the dev clusters are under license. The other clusters we don't have license. We use the open source, the free distribution. We have like 51 nodes on production. When I say we have one cluster of production, it's like the production is, if you think it through, it's not one whole cluster. We using node affinities and taints, we kind of segregate the nodes. We have some sort of segregation, but it's in terms of Kubernetes, it's just one big cluster. We have 574 deployments. We have 1,000 and almost 500 pods. We think it's a medium-sized cluster. And this is what we get to use today. What are you using today? We use HashiCorp Vault to protect our secrets. We use go logs to analyze the usage of our cluster, one part of the usage, to help us define the limits, the requests, the pod's requests, pod limits, these kind of things. One thing that I haven't mentioned is that everything we run on Rancher is on premises. We have nothing on cloud yet. It's one of the things we are projecting now. You know, the SUSE guys are helping us with migrating to the cloud. So that's why we use Harbor. We use Kubernetes. That's something that helps us to restart the machines every now and then, so we can fix some memory leaks and things. We use Elasticsearch, Kyverno. I believe most of you're familiar with most of these technologies. And SUSE Premium Support. Is it good? What does it eat? Premium Support is, for those who don't know, there is a SUSE employee that helps us directly. It's a very first line. He works with us. His name is, the one who works with us now is Robinson. And he works with us trying to solve and trying to give a guide to where our cluster should go. What can we do to improve the cluster, and what kind of technology we can incorporate with it, and also helps us with the problems we eventually have using Rancher. I made a list of some of the things they helped us. They are helping us right now to migrate from RKA1 to RKA2, RKE1 to RKE2. It's an ongoing project. We just made a lab of it with all the GitLabs, the GitOps installation, and it's working right now. We're going to create the dev cluster, I think next week or the weeks next. We had a problem with download Docker image. They helped us with it, and they helped us, for instance, to install Solar via Fleet. And that's one thing that I like to emphasize. I think, in my point of view, it's one of the best things that happened when we signed the premium support, is that the Rancher fellow, they don't stop at SUSE product. It helps us all the way possible. If you have a problem, I don't know, if you have a problem with any Jinx before your cluster, they don't say, oh, any Jinx is not Rancher, I don't touch it. No, they helped us. They tried the best to configure the any Jinx. They helped us trying to configure the Solar. Of course, it's important to say, of course, they won't change Solar. They won't change Solar code. They even can't do that. They won't change any GNX. They won't change any of these. But they don't stop before that. And it helps because I had this kind of issue. When we have two technologies, let me say, technology A, technology B, they must talk to each other, and you have a problem, you talk to the guy from the, oh, I have a problem, and oh, let me check your configuration. Oh, everything is fine by my side. And then you talk to the B, and oh no, everything is fine by my side. And I get these, okay, it's not a problem, it's not the problem, maybe it's my problem. Definitely it's my problem, but when you got Rancher, no, they really tried the best to reach the other side and did not just stop on what's their domain. We have the same situation when we tried to configure the vSphere CPI CIS. It was a big challenge. We had some problems with that. It's a storage class that vSphere has, so it makes it way easier to create new storage. They also helped us with this supportability review. It was their own initiative. We didn't demand that. They looked at our cluster and said, oh, let's run the supportability review. And then they made all this report of what we can do to improve our cluster. And it was really, really insightful. Of course, some of the insights we used, some of them we couldn't, but it really helps to protect our cluster. And they helped us with the upgrade compatibility. We suffer plenty of attacks as a public agency, as we are. We have attacks all the time, so we need to be up to date with our stack as fast as we can. And to upgrade, as you know, Kubernetes has launched a new release every now and then. Every other day there is a new release of Docker, of Kubernetes, of Fleet, and there is also these. Oh, okay, I have Rancher version X, and now is it compatible with the new version of Docker? Not yet. And there is the SO version, and this kind of thing may be fuzzy, and they helped us with these compatibility issues. And now, what we face now? What are our challenges to improve our clusters? One is the continuous update. Another one is optimization of the resource. Our developer in TCU, the one who's responsible for the YAML is most of them are on the dev part, and they tend to request more resources than they actually are using. So to optimize those requests are something very difficult because we have plenty of deployments and we can't check one by one, and GoldLogs helps us with this. Monitoring, part of the resource optimization, but also using Grafana. We need to improve our dashboards. Security, is related with the continuous updates. DevSecOps. Our biggest challenge is migrating to the cloud. We are, at the same time we are migrating to RKE2, we are also migrating to the cloud. We have picked 3 clouds. It's a complicated process. We are not still on the position to migrate the range. We have plenty of other stuff we need to migrate. We have a whole architecture, network architecture, and lots of things to fix, to define. But migrating to the cloud is our next big challenge. Also migrating to RKE2. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful for you guys.